Okay, you guys, welcome to our Thursday night, every other Thursday night call. We missed last week, but we are back today. And I'm so excited because I get to interview Megan Morell, who just recently went gold. And first of all, I want to say congratulations. That's awesome. We're so excited. I know you are too. And so I want to get started and just so that we'll have enough time to really hear your story. But tell us a little bit about your family. I put in the Rockin group that you have 7 kids from 1 to 11.
I do.
We just found out you're in the middle of selling your house and moving a long way away.
900 miles.
Oh, that's a long way. So tell us what does your life look like?
Busy, like from the moment I get up to the moment we go to bed. It's a constant. I mean, the baby just turned 1 yesterday, so we're always figuring out what is our current schedule. Every time you think you get into a routine, somebody changes, and so we're always reinventing our time and me trying to figure out where we're doing the homeschooling, I value, spending just individual time with my kids. And of course, my house has to be done and food has to be made and get to dance classes and things like that. And then somewhere fit plexus in there. It's a constant juggle. And bedtime is sacred to me. Absolutely. Don't mess with mama when we say it's time for devotion. We are going. So, it's just
I can't wait. I can't wait to ask you how you fit plexus and all that. But so you're in the middle of a move. You're in the middle of homeschooling a lot of kids, and have a baby. So tell us what so far has your plexus journey looked like as far as when you signed up until now?
Oh, I signed up after my 3-year-old just turned 3 a week ago. And when he was just a few weeks old is when I signed up with just an account wholesale, just because I needed to get the best price. I'm that typical person, I'd done MLMs before and it didn't work. So I'm like, I'll just get the best prices. I needed that. So I signed up with the double triplex, got on the X Factor and triplex, and because I was just exhausted. I mean, I was depleted in every way, and saw in a few weeks, it took a few weeks, I was just so depleted, but after a few weeks, I was like, whoa, is this what it feels like to feel well? Because I hadn't felt well like my entire adulthood. And I was 38, I guess, at the time. And so I was like, well, I know I'm going to tell other people about this because I know that other people need this. So that's how I, of course, started my business, like everybody does. And I went silver pretty quickly after I decided to do the business. And then just kind of, I got people and then just couldn't get enough active at the same time. And last year was probably my lowest, which was really sad because I had joined Bob Heilig's Legacy Leadership Academy in the fall of 2017. And so I was like, 18 is going to be my big year. I'm going to do it. This is going to be my breakout year and all this stuff. And then it was really my worst of the 2 full years that I had been working the business, and very disappointing. I mean, I was really disappointed with myself and how I managed my business last year. And so that's kind of what brought me to the place in December where I decided something major had to change come 2019. And it did.
So you had a mindset change, and I want you guys to be writing down some of the things that pop out at you, because I know there's a lot of people I know on this call that really are in the same boat that Megan was in. And everybody's answer is going to be a little bit different on how they come to find out what it is that they're missing or what they need to add or take away or whatever. But be writing down anything that she says that kind of pops out at you, and then after the call, you can go over that, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Megan, what mindset change did you have in December that you feel like really changed how you did business?
Something that Bob said in a training just really stuck with me about limiting beliefs in our own mind and how we view ourselves and how that's all incorporating into our business. And I realized that I had this really bad limiting belief that that other people, and this was from school age, that I was a failure, that I was not going to succeed the way others in my class would succeed, and that's just how it is. I really don't even know where that came from, where I mean, I'm just putting myself down. And so, I mean, I would do work and I would do work and do work, but I didn't really have confidence in myself. And I thought that other people would think, well, who does she even think she is? And so I started talking to myself differently. I mean, I know we hear about this in trainings and stuff, but sometimes you really have to start saying these things to yourself. And I did. And so I started meditating on this in bed at night. Literally, I would lay down and I would be like, you know what? People always thought that I would succeed, and they were wondering, you know, what I've been up to. And I'm telling myself these stories. Bob tells us, you know, we tell ourselves stories, and tell yourself a different story. I'm telling myself that, you know, people expect me to succeed. This is what people expect of me, and I expect it of myself. And I start thinking of myself, what's my life going to be like as a diamond? What's things that I get to do when I hit diamond? In my chiropractor's office, I get massages on an issue of my shoulder. And so I'm laying there getting my massage. I imagine that I'm actually on the beach in Hawaii getting my massage because I'm there with a bunch of Plexus people. So it's this very intentional thing that I focused on changing how I viewed myself. And then I was going to take very bold action come January, and I didn't care what people thought. I had to stop caring what people thought. That's something else Bob Heilig teaches us, to embrace uncertainty, and that you just have to go out and do it, and whatever happens, happens. At the very least, somebody's going to tell you no. Go pound sand, and you move on. And so I decided to embrace that, as well as the fact that I was going to be successful.
Awesome. Okay, so obviously self-growth, it has been a big part of your journey. You said you joined the Bob Heilig Academy in 2017. Mm-hmm. So were you implementing the things that he taught during that time, or were you just mostly soaking things up and not taking action?
Oh, that was the huge frustrating thing, is that I went to almost all of his trainings, and I did the work. I did the challenges each month. I think there was one, maybe two, all of last year that I didn't do the actual challenge. One was a leadership one. I really didn't have a team to lead to follow it. And I think the other one was after I had my C-section in February. And so I was doing the work to a certain degree. And that was one thing when I took a hard look at myself and had a big staff meeting in December, and me, myself, and I, and said, why was this year so bad? And it was because I was afraid to do the harder parts. I was okay with doing live videos. I mean, I've been doing live videos for 2 years now, at least once a week, if not multiple times a week. I go live, which is something Bob is a big fan of, and I'm really good at that. And I'm really good at attraction marketing. I feel like I've gotten really good at not being salesy, but I was afraid to ask for somebody to look at what I have. That part just scared me. I mean, I did it sometimes, but not consistently with every person I was reaching out to. And so that has been the big change in what I'm doing, working my business.
So when you were in the academy before December, were you reaching out to people and not sharing what you had, or were you feel like you were building relationships? What were you doing differently before December that you feel like was a mistake that somebody could learn from?
I definitely got stuck in the relationship building and wondering when is it okay to say something about Plexus? When is the right time? When is the perfect time? I was waiting for the perfect time instead of just bringing it up and moving forward. And I had something I was going to say with that. It'll come back. Sorry. Yeah. I definitely got stuck in relationship building mode.
Yeah, he's been talking about that a lot lately. And I think people will either get stuck in the mode of self-development, like overload, and they know everything about everything, and they don't put it to action, or they put it to action, but they don't actually take the next step of asking if the person wants to know more about your business. And
that's what it was. That's where I would get stuck, is that I would ask if they would do me a favor, like market research. I wouldn't be bold and be like, I want to know what you think of this for you. I was afraid to do that. So I was like, so I've got this assignment where I'm supposed to share, with a bunch of people why I have my business. So like when we had the prospecting challenge last year in January, I was like, okay, this is gonna be it. Well, I was really timid. I was taking a very timid approach and acting like, well, will you just do me a favor and look at this and just give me your opinion just because I have this assignment, instead of just reaching out and doing my job and being a professional at my job, frankly.
Yeah. I loved it. Recently, he was talking about how, we need to go for no. And there's nothing wrong with getting no's, because he says that that's where it all starts. That's, people think that no is the end, but no is actually the beginning. And so a lot of people say no to begin with. And that's when you can start building from there and showing them more things. A lot of people, at the very first thing, they're going to say no, or they're going to say, not right now. Mm-hmm. And building on from that. And I think we tend to be so afraid of rejection that it keeps us from actually asking for the actual sale, right, or join, or whatever, looking at the third party tool. So it sounds like you got past the fear that you were holding your own self back from.
And surprisingly, it doesn't take very many times of practicing it. I mean, that's one thing Bob also talks about, is you can't get good at something if you don't practice it. But the more you practice it, then you're like, oh, well, this isn't so hard. I was very surprised at how few conversations I had to have before I was like, oh, this is no big deal. Not that there's still not some people that I do hesitate with. Don't think that I'm, just immune to that, because I'm not. But it's definitely a lot easier now to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And, it's very normal to feel like that. And that, I think, is one thing that people who tend to be more introverted, like I'm super introverted, and people, you would think that I would just be easily share with people because I have success. And so, why would I be afraid? But I still get intimidated to go for that and ask for that sale. And so I think, like what you were talking about, really meditating on success and really telling yourself all the time, we have products that'll help you. Like the other day, Bob said something that was just so amazing, when he said, who really is going to get mad at you because you're trying to make their life better? Like, really, who's going to say, that Jana, she's just too pushy. She just asked me if I wanted to be healthier. I mean, really, you look at it like that and you think, well, how intimidating is that really? Because you're trying to help that person. And that's what we're learning through our self-development, is that, if you're really thinking about the other person, when you are taking that step outside of your comfort zone, when you're just thinking, I can't wait to hear this girl tell me how much she loves her pink drink or how healthy she feels, who's going to be upset with that? Even if they tell you no, they're not going to think bad of you because you thought of them, if your heart is in the right place. So I love that. I want to know.
I changed my goals real quick. I changed my goals to not reflect so much what I want for me as to reflect the impact that I want to make in other people's lives. So I have an impact goal for financial blessings of other people and health blessings for other people. And when I reach out, when I'm ready to switch the conversation, that's what I say is, can I share with you the impact goals I've made for this year for people that I want to bless with health and finances, and see if anybody comes to mind. That's how I switch the conversation. And I make it about the impact I want to make in other people's lives, not that I'm trying to make a sale.
That's awesome.
That's been a mindset change for me too. Yeah. I'm like, that's what this is all about. That was the reason I even started my business, because I wanted to help other people.
That's, that is gold right there. No pun intended.
It was for me.
For real, just really writing down that those are your goals for this year, and telling other people that when you're reaching out to them. That I love that. It's awesome. Okay, so when you're doing your IPAs and you're obviously you're a gold team now, so you're duplicating that down, and then you have all these kids and you're homeschooling. Like, what does a day look like? Do you work every day? Do you work 5 days a week? What do you work seven? What does your day look like, or your week? What does your week look like?
My goal is Monday through Friday for my IPA for Plexus. And it is to initiate 5 new conversations. And that is, some of those are going to go quickly to Plexus and some are going to be relationship building. And some people are going to give me crickets. So you know how that is. Because as Bob says, if they won't reach out and say, hey, back, if you're just saying, hi, how are you doing? They're not going to pay attention to anything you say about Plexus. So my goal is to start 5 new conversations and then move along any that have responded in the past 24 hours to conversations that I've started, and looking for that opening that's right to switch it to Plexus. Sometimes it's not. I mean, you find out their dog's in the hospital and half dead or this or that, and you're like, that's just not an appropriate time to bring up Plexus. You have to care about what's going on in people's lives. You go look at their Facebook page and see what's happening. I love how Bob says, reach out to the people who have responded to a popular post of yours. So I use that a lot. I go look and see what's my most popular post. It's getting a lot of comments, a lot of likes and loves. And those are the people that I reach out to first. But I look at their page and see what can I connect with them on their level. And again, make sure that, somebody's not in the hospital dying. And I'm like, hey, let's talk Plexus. So
Right.
that's important.
Very, very true. It happens all the time. Just happened to a friend of mine. She lost her sister like 2 days ago, and it could happen at any time. You could be reaching out to somebody and say the wrong thing at the wrong time. So do you carve out little times during your day? I've never homeschooled, so I don't know what that's like, but I do know that there are a lot of people on our team that do. And a lot of them have come to me and told me they don't know how to make it all work. Like, how do you have time to do that during the day? What do you do?
Well, during the day, it's very hit and miss. Wherever I can grab a minute, that's usually when I'm going to do my Plexus post, and I might, if there's a conversation on Messenger, do a little bit of that. I get very little dedicated time during the school day. That's another reason bedtime is so important, is we get those kids in bed and I have an hour that I've set aside, and I do my Plexus from 8:30 to 9:30 at night is my time. And my husband is so supportive, and he'll take the kids, whatever kids are still up, whoever keeps getting up, the baby, whatever, and he gives me that hour, and I work the business because he knows that it's for us that I'm doing this. So that's when I do it.
That's good. What kind of advice would you give to somebody if their husband was not that supportive? If their husband was like, well, this is our time during this time, what would you tell them?
I would tell, get on dough and get your IPA done more efficiently.
Right.
I'm loving the new app, the new dough app that a lot of us are trying out, because we can work more efficiently. They might just have to find those, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here throughout the day. If you can't get a solid hour, but you have to, if you are doing business, you have to keep yourself focused on business during that time. If this is Plexus, then this is Plexus. It's not going off on every rabbit trail that's right in front of us. It's
Right.
so easy on Facebook.
Yeah, that's really, really important for sure. I think another thing is husbands, like Bob always says, spouses that aren't as supportive, they need to see the money. And, if you're not making money yet, show them other people that are, like, a video like this to show your spouse that what you just said about that your husband's very supportive and he takes the kids from me. A lot of times they just need to see what other husbands are doing. And they see that at events. If you can get husbands to events, if they can get around other spouses of Plexus ambassadors, they can see that. If they're willing to watch Diamond documentaries, most of those have interviews from the husband who it has really paid off for them to be supportive. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, a lot of husbands will see those videos and they're like, wow, it's worth it. That little hour that they're doing that, it's worth it to support you and your, your business.
Absolutely.
So when you're onboarding a new person, what do you have them do?
Well, it depends on if they are dedicated to working the business or not. I have some documents that I've created. If somebody says that they want to try to build a business along with working on their health, then I have some documents that are following Bob's training plans that we went through something last year. So I've got a 1-page getting started checklist and a 2-page game plan meeting document, which actually need to be adjusted now because they talk about the old Fast Start Gold. So I just haven't had time to go in there and adjust that since Super Saturday. So that just kind of goes through and teaches them the very simple IPA plan that I follow, which is you reach out, you share your impact goal. If they're interested in moving on, then you share a video. If they're interested in more after that, you put them in a 3-way chat with somebody. I have a lot of people in my team, upline and sideline, that I know that I can go to and say, hey, can I put you in a chat with this person I'm talking to? And so I just try to follow that system that Bob has, and I just teach that because it has to be something that's easy for them to follow. And so try and just follow a simple system myself and teach that.
That's good. Would you be willing to share those documents in the notes on when I share this after the call notes? And obviously you're gonna adjust that for the Fast Start Gold, but I think a lot of people might like to see that and kind of see, because I know people love to see other people's onboarding notes and call, and if you could do that, that would be really great. And
Yeah,
people can tweak that. Thank you. The third-party tool you mentioned, we are all about that. Plexus has been very much pushing that. Third-party tool is something we've been asking for a long time. And now that they have the videos and all of that, it's really an amazing way to share. And so obviously Bob is talking about that a lot too, Bob Heilig in his videos, and the free thing we did last week. He has open enrollment, I think, until tonight, if anybody wants to join that. And so you use third-party tools a lot, obviously.
Yep.
And has that helped you a lot with your going to gold?
Oh, absolutely. Well, last month, Super Saturday was a perfect time for me because of the training, and the new program with the Fast Start, Fresh Start was perfect. I mean, the timing could be even better. And the training about the $199 welcome packs was absolute, well, gold. Sorry, we keep saying that, but it was phenomenal because I had not promoted the $199 welcome packs hardly ever. I mean, I rarely talked about those. It was almost apologetic, but when they talked about how much better we are equipping people for success when we get them on more products to start with, because I was always hesitant, well, just start here and then we'll add more later. But like, I totally had a massive mental shift about the $199 welcome packs at Super Saturday. And so with the whole program, I looked at, I felt like the Weight Loss Essentials welcome pack was going to be the one that most people are going to be benefiting from. And we didn't have any kind of video about that, so I made one. And so that's what my team and I used, and that's how we went to gold, was sharing that video that I made on the Weight Loss Essentials welcome pack.
Awesome. We'd love to see that as well.
I'm glad to share it.
Yes, awesome. The $199 welcome pack is something that I don't know why it's gotten so much less popular, but it's starting to come back with all the new ones that they're adding. But I know when I started, I didn't sign up anybody with a 99 pack. I signed up everybody with the $199 pack because
Really?
I felt like it was a better deal for them. I signed up with the $199 pack because it came with more products and I wanted a better deal. So I think that getting that back into the system, and right now we have that amazing incentive until the end of the month that is free shipping for them and then double points for us. And so like you said, they get started out on more products. They get initiated into seeing what more of the products can do for them. Instead of having to add those later, they get them right up front. And so then it's already there. Then they can tweak that. There was a really good video that I'm going to share too, probably tomorrow. One of the diamonds was talking about the $199 pack and how it is so much more beneficial, and kind of how to involve, how to tell a new person that's signing up, like how to get them to do the 199 pack, and how much of a better deal it is for them, kind of the verbiage to use for that. And I want to post that because it was a really good short video on that.
Mm-hmm.
How important do you feel like that events like convention, Super Saturday, opportunity meetings, leaders retreat, how important do you think those things are to your business?
Well, I think that if you're serious about your Plexus business, then you go. The only convention that I missed was the one before I decided to actually do my business, since I signed up in the spring with my wholesale account and didn't start working my business till after convention that year. But the following year, my husband and I and a little boy were in Las Vegas, and last year I was in Orlando. We're already signed up for Vegas. I'm just praying that our move, for the timing of it, that's not gonna get in the way. But driven through snow to get to Super Saturday in Columbus, Ohio. I live cast when I had to. Like this year, I didn't know where we were going to live, so I couldn't sign up for anywhere. I was hoping to be moved and then go to Des Moines, but I feel like if you are serious about your business, then you get to events. It's you're a business owner, and this is what your company does, and you get there and you learn. And it's just, to me, it's not a negotiable thing. And the same, my husband is 100% supportive of it too. Like I said, he's planning to go again.
That's awesome. And right now you can still register for it if you have not registered yet. And I always say register for it, even if you're not sure if you can go. It is a long time away for some people. They don't know for sure. Like, you don't know if you're going to be in the middle of a move or whatever. But I have come across so many people in my 6 years that wish they would have signed up, and as soon as they get full, or as soon as they stop selling the tickets, that's when you realize, oh, you know what, I need to go to convention. So it's worth it to sign up, and it's worth it to work on your prizes for convention, because and getting people there, getting people to, even if you just have one person on your team, even if it's your husband, getting your team to convention is so much more exciting to have team members there than it is by yourself. So even if you just have one person and it's your mom, or one person and it's your sister, it's so much more fun to go with somebody else who's doing Plexus with you. And always register now before it sells out, because we don't ever know when they're going to stop selling the tickets, or we don't ever know when it's going to go up in price or whatever. It's worth it to sign up, even if you don't know for sure if you can go. You can always try to find airline tickets that are less expensive and all that, but just try to get there. Try to get to convention, because it does make a huge difference, and it's so much fun. So much fun to go to convention on top of that. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is the Dough app, because I posted that in the Rockin group today. And if you're not familiar with the Dough app, it is a guy that has been working with several of the diamonds to come up with an app for IPAs. And a lot of you are already on it, using it. But right now it's free. If you want more information about that, it is in the Rockin group. I posted that earlier, and he's taking times, and he says that he's going to do it until nobody else wants to do it anymore, and nobody's going to get left out of this. And so he's opening it up to everyone now. So all the diamonds are posting in their team groups. So if you want to onboard with this app, and it is amazing. They take your Plexus team, they take your customers, they take your Facebook friends, and they put them all together and come up with this list of names for you to reach out to. And it makes reaching out for your IPA so much more fun. But like Megan said, before you reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a while, go to their Facebook page, see what's going on in their life. And that makes the conversation easier to start anyway. If you know what something's happening in somebody's life, you can start your conversation with that. But this Dough app it's just everything that we've needed for a really long time. Yes. And it gives you a place to put notes. I'm not a super green person. I used to be more green than I am now, but so I'm not technology savvy at all. If I have a problem with my computer, I hand it to Rod and say, fix it, make it work, because I'm going to throw it through the window if I have to do anything. So I was a little nervous about onboarding with this. I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to do it without Rod, but Darius, the guy that created it, he goes through the whole thing with you. He shows you exactly what to do, how to download all your people. It's very user-friendly. Definitely worth when they start charging. He said it was going to be between $16 and $20 a month. You can pay for that with just one new customer. And you're having your IPA sit out right in front of you and organized. And instead of having to write notes, I can't tell you how many notebooks I have sitting here in my drawers everywhere of my 64 or my 100 list. And I always have to go gather up all these notebooks and try to figure out who's who have I already reached out to. This puts it all in one place for you. So if you have not onboarded yet with Doe, even if you don't think that you'll spend the money every month, at least do it now and see what it's all about, so that when you do decide to do it, or if you do decide to do it, you'll know what it's all about. You'll know whether it's worth it to you. You can use it for however long the month or however long it is right now free, and you can see what you can do with it right now. But I highly encourage that you guys do that, especially right now. It's completely free. All right. So we are going to go ahead and close the call. Megan, congratulations again. I'm so excited for you, and I know that this is just the beginning for you, and 2019 is going to be huge, and you're going to sell your house soon and make that move. And but I appreciate all your tips. I know there's a lot of people that can gain a lot of knowledge from what you said tonight, and I really appreciate that. We are going to post, I'm going to post in the Rockin group right after the call so that we can do the drawing for the lean 7-day pack, so that you guys can be in the drawing to win that. To be in the drawing, all you have to do is put your tips and takeaways from this call after I post it. And then that's where Megan can post her notes and video and all the things that you have to share, which I so appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. And I will do the drawing for that tomorrow, but post before midnight your tips and takeaways from the call. And the code words are congrats, Megan. So put that, you get to be the rock star for tonight. So put that before your notes, congrats, Megan. And then put your notes of anything that popped out at you, anything that she said that maybe motivated you, maybe gave you some hope for the future. I know she would love to read all your comments about what you learned on the call. But you guys have a great evening and a great weekend, and stay warm if you're cold where you are. And I love you guys, and we will see you in the Rockin group. Thank you. Bye. Thanks, Megan.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.